how it was in general. It was an amazing feeling, no pain, no fear. It was really relaxing. I didn't have any worries. I didn't have anything negative. It was just like as if something was embracing me and hugging me, and it was like amazing, amazing feeling. Unfortunately, it didn't go on for long. Suddenly, without any warning, I felt like something is just jumping behind me and like wrapping me in like this blanket, let's say. And within a split second, I'm waking up in this completely pitch dark domain when I feel something is like grabbing me from behind, and not grabbing me, like squeezing me to a point that I can't even move. Before that, I felt like all free and floating, and at this point, I felt like that thing is holding me so strong that not only that I can't move, it was painful. And when I'm saying pitch black, there's no way to describe how dark it was. I always give an example like that you wake up sometimes in the middle of the night and the room is completely dark, and you're like, for a few seconds you kind of don't know what's going on where you are, but then you see a little bit of light coming from the window and maybe a little bit of light shining from the alarm clock, and you, okay, I'm in bed, and you kind of relax. The darkness was just nothing but darkness. It was black, thick black. And I know it might sound like maybe childish, but it was so scary. The darkness was beyond scary. It was just pitch black. And then up till then I felt that I'm facing down, looking down. At that point I felt like I'm kind of turned over and I'm looking up. And that thing was squeezing me so strong, it felt like it's like smashing me. And everything turned over. Like it was suddenly extremely scary, extremely painful. I didn't know where I am. I didn't know how I got there. I kind of like lost, let's say, memory for what happened a few seconds before that. I just woke up there. And there's no other words to really describe it, but fear, that there's no way to describe this fear. And in my mind, my thought, I'm like, I knew kind of what's going on. It's like I knew it was a level of understanding that you just know something. I just knew that something is not good. And at this part, there's a lot of details, and I don't go into all the details, mainly because a lot of viewers I found are not so interested to hear because they're a little bit harsh. Like I said before, if you're interested, there's a area on the top of the blog where you can, or the top of the site where you can kind of ask questions. But basically what I felt is that black thing, I call it the black thing because it was pitch black. You can kind of call it the angel of death. I just call it the black thing because that's how it felt. And beyond the fear and beyond the pain, it felt like, first of all, I didn't know how I got there. And more than that, I didn't know how I'm getting out of there. And I always connect it to a scenario. Imagine a person that gets sentenced to jail for 40 years. Now, 40 years, it's not fun. But the person knows that in that 40 years, he's going to have where to sleep, he's going to have what to eat, he's going to have friends, he can interact with the people. Now in jails you can study, you can do many things. He knows he's going to be somewhere, he's going to be safe. And at the end of the 40 years, he's going out. So he kind of knows what's going on, even though it's not fun, but he knows what's waiting for him. Imagine, on the other hand, a soldier that gets captured by the enemy. And the first few seconds when he gets captured, he doesn't know what's going to happen. In his mind, he can be dead in an hour, or he can be thrown in some pit somewhere and being tortured for 10 years. He doesn't know what's waiting for him. He has no rights. He has no lawyer defending him. He has no family visits. He has nothing. He's captured by the enemy that wants to basically kill him, torture him, do anything, the worst that you can think of. imagine what's going on in the mind of the person. Magnify that 1,000,000,000. I knew I was being held by the worst thing ever. I knew that there's no way for me to get out of there. In my mind, in my thoughts, I was like, that's it. That's my eternity. And it's not that I was stuck on a beautiful island. That thing was so scary. There's no words to define how scary it was. And I always give another example. Imagine that hypothetically we would take a man and throw him in space. Of course, a man can't survive in space, but hypothetically, let's say you throw a man in space. So he's just floating in space, knowing that 1,000,000,000 miles this way there's nothing, and 1,000,000,000 miles this way there's nothing. There's basically nothing all around him, and he can't move. He's just floating in the space. Kind of the same idea. That's how I felt. That I'm in the middle of nothing, there's nothing around me, and I can't move, and I'm basically stuck there. And unfortunately, the feeling was just going and becoming stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger, like kind of having an anxiety. It was just becoming worse, more scary and more frightening. And the thing that was holding me, the way to define it in easy words, it's like I saw the devil in the shape of a human, and he's basically telling me, you're mine. I own you, and you're mine, and that's it. And in different words, it's basically you're out of luck, because I'm going to do whatever I want with you. And there's really no words to define the fear. It's an endless fear. It's an endless fear of, I don't know what's waiting for me. And then started all the pain in it. It's not like a physical pain that you fall and, you know, there's a pain. Okay, so you take a painkiller. This is not that type of a pain. It felt, first of all, that it's not holding me. It felt that it's ripping me. That it's basically taking pieces of me and ripping them off me. And there's no way to really describe the pain, because it's not a physical pain. A physical pain is there's a limit. At some point the pain stops, either you faint or either you take a painkiller. This pain didn't stop. It was just accelerating and echoing. And it wasn't a physical pain, it was more like a spiritual pain, a mental pain. There's really not words to really describe what's a spiritual pain. But to start with, it's a pain that doesn't stop. And it's a pain that becomes stronger and stronger. And it's like a mental pain. And the more the time passes by, everything is just getting worse and worse and worse. And it seemed like I was there, I'm not exaggerating, it seemed like I was there for eternity. It seemed like I was there for 5,000,000 years. And I'm by myself there, and it was the most scariest thing I can ever imagine. There's literally no words to describe how scary it is. Knowing that nothing can get you out of there, nothing can help you, and that thing is just, it won't let go. And it was echoing, basically, you know, you're mine. I'm gonna rip you to pieces. That's it. And at some point, it's like as if I understood everything. I knew exactly why I'm there. I knew that I basically messed up. I did bad things. I knew this is payback time. This is the time, that's it. This is time to pay. And the more the time went by, it's like I felt like I've been pulled through a funnel, and the pulling is like as if ripping pieces off me. There's no words to really describe the whole scene. And as this thing is going, it's like I feel like I'm going through like, I can't say feel like I'm going through a tunnel, because it just was like this big empty domain. But it's like as if flying in, you know how you see the movies like Enterprise and Star Wars, that a spaceship is like flying in space, and you see like objects are just moving. It's like as if I saw objects. It wasn't objects, but it's like as if I saw my sins going through me, and every time I saw one of them, there's no words to describe the pain, or the fear, or the shame, or all the negative feelings that came with it.